Hello everybody, we are live and I'm super excited to be here. If you don't know who I am already, my name is Coach Bren and I am thrilled to guide you through number 3 of 11 of all the sneak peeks that we're doing for all these fantasy fitness classes and sessions and workouts and workshops that we're going to have at the Rainbow Market at the Stardust and Shadows Soiree in May 2025. One thing that I want to first just start with is the fact that one of the things I'm really excited about is we are bringing not just the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp back, but we're upgrading it. And what I mean by upgrading it is we are BMC is me and my team, but I am very particular on feedback, on giving the people what they want, on surveys. And so after Starfall last year, we sent out a survey to everyone and we asked particularly what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want next time. And one of the big things we got was that for the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp, if we could make a longer session, we wanted a longer session. So for some people, the feedback said that it was the perfect amount of time. But for some people, they wanted to get more detailed into the combat, more detailed into how to hold the sword, how to hold the shield, how to work in a unison, in a team like a Valkyrie. So for the class schedule for Stardust for next May, we're going to have the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp 1-hour session. We're going to call this one Awakening. So we have on Friday, 3 p.m., Valkyrie Training Bootcamp Awakening, which is our 1-hour session, followed by our 1-hour Valkyrie Mind Stilling class, which I'll talk about a little next month. But on Saturday, we are going to have at 10 a.m. the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp Ascension, and that's going to be the 2-hour session. So you have the option to do a 1-hour session or a 2-hour session. Now this isn't like a prerequisite where you have to go to one to get to the other. It's more so just a condensed version and a more elaborate version where we get more into details about the nitty-gritty and build upon the foundation that you learn in one, and then also give you a little bit more advanced techniques and strategies in these 2-hour Ascension session. So with that as well, in terms of the Valkyrie training, because I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I'm excited. So we have Friday at 3 p.m. the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp Awakening 1-hour session, 4 p.m. Valkyrie Mind Stilling, then Saturday Valkyrie Training Bootcamp a session 2-hour session at 10, and then Valkyrie Mobility and Stretching at noon, which I'm also excited for. The reason I'm excited for that is because a lot of feedback we got was also yoga. Now while we have yoga, like we'll have the enemies to lovers yoga, which is a partner yoga class, and the Dust Court yoga, which is like a end of the day, Friday, chill and wind down yoga class. Valkyries, I like to stay specific to the Sarah J. Maas world, and I like to stay specific to what she creates. And, pardon me, and from what she's created so far, the Valkyries don't do yoga specifically. So I didn't want to have them do yoga. So that's why we're going to have the Valkyrie Mobility and Stretching, which is going to give you all the benefits of yoga, but in a way that, Cassian may teach it to the girls when they're training. So focusing on mobility exercises, stretching, because Cassian says you always have to stretch. So it's going to be more of individual workshop of understanding how to do mobility and stretching and getting detailed into how to make our joints strong. So I just wanted to just briefly touch on that with the 4 Valkyrie training classes that we will be offering during the Stardust and Shadows Soiree. So I just wanted to mention that briefly. Now, continuing on, I do want to remind you guys that we are hosting a contest internally in Alexia Events' Facebook page leading up to Stardust. So there will be a question at the end of each of these lives. And if you answer the question in the comments, you get entered to win a free membership to our Nexus app. And this app gives you access to all of our fantasy fitness programs in the palm of your hand, at your fingertips, including our Keep Your Seat Strength and Conditioning, which is our Dragon Training Program, Grounding and Shielding Dragon Training Program, House of Wind Stair Climb Challenge, which is gets you from no stepping experience to climbing the 10,000 steps like Nesta, Abs Like an Illyrian, Valkyrie Bodyweight Bootcamp, and more. So you can even go back to previous lives that I've done for the main character energy, for the enemies to lovers, for the fantasy fitness, what to expect for Stardust, and you can answer the questions in the comments. And each time you comment, that's an entry into getting a free membership to our app. So with that being said, I want to dive into the actual class we're talking about today, which is our, like I said, Valkyrie Training Bootcamp Awakening, which is our 1 hour session. So this is what you can expect for our 1 hour session and kind of the inspiration behind it. Now, those who went to Starfall understand that this class draws from the inspiration of the fierce and formidable Valkyries in the Sarah J. Maas ACOTAR, Thorns, and Rose series. Characters like Gwyn, Nesta, and Emery, who embody the strength and courage and resilience of the Valkyries and actually essentially bring them back to life after them being brutalized and eradicated from the previous war. So these girls and women remind us that we all have an inner warrior waiting to be awakened, and that's what I try to bring to life in this class. It's available to everyone, it's accessible to everyone, whether you're a cross-fitting, running triathlete, or I had actually someone who was pregnant in my class at the last Starfall. So it is available to everyone. Even if you have a broken leg, I will make it available to you at where you are at, because one of the things I pride myself on is making classes available to everyone and accessible to everyone. So this class is welcome to everyone, whether you're a novice, blade, or Valkyrie. Now, what can you expect in this 1 hour awakening class? Well, you can expect to unleash your inner Valkyrie through a blend of foundational grounding techniques, fitness exercises, and dynamic shield and sword drills. This session also emphasizes on the Valkyrie's belief that true strength lies in unity. So everyone always learns how to move in a unit. The girls move in a unit. They kind of get competitive when it comes to the blood right qualifier in the series of trying to be the first quadrant is what I like to use, unit, to get the blood right qualifier obstacle course completed. So we're going to learn and work together so that we can think and move as one in group games, activities, and some friendly competitions at the end. During the class, we're going to get deep into understanding breathwork and grounding exercises, just as Cassian started with the ladies when he started doing their training. So just like with Nesta, when he said, okay, we're not going to just throw a shield and a sword in your hand, we're going to teach you how to stand the right way. We're going to teach you how to breathe the right way. So we're going to do the same thing to learn how to center ourselves and learn the basics of being a warrior through a foundational learning experience. From there, we're going to dive into some fitness drills. So we'll get invigorated through some exercises designed to build strength and endurance as a unit. So these exercise drills aren't just going to be you doing exercises on your own, but working with your quadrant or your unit to move and begin to learn how to move as one. So you have to move in sync during these drills. From there, we're going to get into combat techniques. So you'll learn the basics of shield and sword movements, capturing the essence of Valkyrie combat, moving to that blade level. Now, I do want to say, I'm going to show you guys real quick, so these are, I'm going to use them during the little preview workout, but everyone has a sword and a shield that they get during class. Now, this is what the shield looks like. There are smaller ones, just in case anyone needs a smaller one, but they're about 2 feet long, and they're good for all of our combat techniques. Now, this is, I need to switch because I'm writing. I recently upgraded the swords, and I'm very excited. So previously, I had kind of just an array of swords that I had some katanas, just because I have a whole bunch of just training swords that I've accumulated through the time, and that's what I used when we taught the class. But we've recently upgraded so that we have these really sleek training swords. Oh, they're so pretty. So everyone's going to have one of these and one of those, and that is what we're going to be using for our blade exercises, which I'll show you an example, but just so you guys can have an understanding of these. I do want to ask a question. This is not the question to win the free membership, but I do want to ask the question and get some feedback. I've been thinking about making these available for purchase via online and in person. If that's something you would be interested in, please comment below and let me know, because I've been going back and forth on whether or not I want to bring these available for purchase or I just want to use them in classes. So if you are interested and want me to offer these for purchase, please comment below and let me know that. Anyway, staying on task. So fitness drills, combat techniques, more blade techniques using the shield and the sword, and then from there, group training exercises. So like I said, group activities, friendly competitions, but the big thing is learning the power of teamwork and how when we engage in activities together, we can accomplish more, really. So I put together, similar to the Blood Right qualifier that Cassie and Azrael put together in the series, I put together some type of Blood Right qualifier obstacle course, and part of it has a puzzle portion in it. So you have to solve the puzzle with your quadrant to continue through the obstacle course. Now, it's not going to be the same as it was last year, so if you attended last year's classes, don't worry. Everything you're going to get this year is going to be a whole new experience. Not that, like I said, it's not a level up, but it's just something new so that you can just be just as excited. And then from there, we do, after the mental puzzle and the Blood Right qualifier obstacle course, then we get into some fun competitions, such as last year we did Capture the Trove, which is very similar to Capture the Flag. From there, we'll end with stretching, because as I said before, Cassian says we have to never forget to stretch, so we'll finish our session with some essential stretches to keep our body healthy and agile. So, as I said before, this is available to all levels, whether you're novice, Blade, Valkyrie, and anyone who wants to attend. I mean, you're going to build physical strength, yes, but it's really a very fun community event. There's friendly competition. We get to kind of battle each other with the swords and the shields and learn how to have a little bit of combat. And it's just a really memorable, empowering, invigorating experience. So if you want to attend, I do want to say to please make sure you wear comfortable attire that allows for easy movement. You can wear your cosplay if you want to wear your cosplay. We had multiple people do that last year. I love it personally. I think it's awesome when we have a Gwyn or an Emery, or an Aelin, Bryce, whatever, Dorian going through, the Blood Right qualifier obstacle course. So cosplay is welcomed if you'd like to wear it, but just make sure you're in something you can move in. Make sure you bring a water bottle to stay hydrated, and an open mind and heart so you're ready to embrace your journey. So with that being said, we're going to go through a brief sample session of some of the things that you can expect now that I broke down the structure of the class. So first things first, we're going to go over how to stand. Now, I like to start with just kind of bringing awareness to how you're standing, because a lot of people tend to either lean forward on their toes or back on their heels. So just for a moment, kind of be aware, move your feet around, maybe, lift your toes, lift your heels, and try to find where center is. From there also, without looking down, see if your toes are parallel and pointing forward. A lot of people tend to stand like this or even like this. So the reason I say without looking at your toes is because that builds proprioception. And proprioception is important for knowing where your things and yourself is in life. So that's knowing where your body is in space, but also knowing where your things are in space. So being able to, unsheath your sword without having to look at it, or having to look at it, because sometimes you're in a battle and we can't look here to pull. We got to be able to get it out and put it back without looking at it. And this is applicable to life as well. There's so many things we have to do where we can't look at what we're doing, but we have to be able to do it, whether it's at job, at home, whatever it may be. So we're trying to get your toes to point forward without looking at them will build that proprioception. From there, we're going to work on our 3-part breath. So we're going to inhale and exhale through our nose. Now, the reason we're doing that is because we want to activate our parasympathetic nervous system versus our sympathetic nervous system. So our sympathetic nervous system is that fight or flight, where the parasympathetic nervous system is that rest or digest. So we're going to inhale and exhale through our nose, but more specifically, we're also going to do diaphragmatic breathing, which means we're going to breathe into our diaphragm. A lot of people like to do the breathing in their chest and their shoulders, and that actually activates your body into that fight or flight response. So we're going to make sure our heels, our hips, our shoulders, and our head are all stacked on top of each other. We're going to bring our hands down to our belly. We're going to inhale through our nose, and we're going to push our belly against our hands like a big balloon. And then exhale, belly comes back towards the spine. Inhale. Now taking that through the rest of the body, we're going to inhale, fill the belly. Then we're going to feel our ribs push and spread as we spread our ribs, filling our ribs. And then we're going to gently lift our chest. Then we'll exhale through the chest, exhale through the ribs, exhale through the belly. So it's going to be inhale, belly, ribs, chest, exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Now that's called a 3-part breath with nasal breathing. So the key is when we're doing these exercises, when we're doing the fitness drills or the combat drills or the shield and sword drills, the group training drills, that you're doing it with your nasal breathing in your stomach, because, well, in your diaphragm. Because if you're breathing up here, you're going to run out of breath and you're not going to be able to have the endurance to last through the blood fight and get to the top of Romeo like the girls did. And we want to be able to train like Valkyries, right? So with that being said, we know how to stand. We have our 3-part breath. Now we're going to get into some training. So the training I want to get into is first the novice level, which is just strength and balance. Now I don't want to say just because it's important, but no sword, no shield, no combat yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 sets, which means 2 rounds of 5 reps of 2 exercises that are similar to what you can experience at the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp Awakening. So the first one's going to be a single leg lateral hop and hold. Hop and hold is what I like to call it. So we'll balance on one leg, we'll hop and hold. Hop and hold. Lateral means side to side versus front to back. Hop and hold. Then we'll do the other side. From there, we'll come down to the ground, and we're going to do mountain climbers crossovers. So mountain climbers is when you bring your legs in like this in the plank. Crossovers is when you come across, getting a little bit more of that core and oblique. So you'll come down and we'll go like this. Now, we're going to do 2 rounds. So we'll do the right leg, we'll do the left leg, we'll come down, and we'll do the mountain climbers. Now, we're going to do 5 reps, 5 reps, and then for the mountain climbers, left, right is 1, and we're going to do 5 reps, 2 rounds of that. So I'm going to do it with you guys. I'm also going to make sure I have my water bottle ready to go. Okay, so starting with the lateral hops, lifting the one leg, hopping to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming down for the mountain climbers, crossovers. And left, right is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round 2. Left leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mountain climbers, last round. Crossovers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And break. So from there we can take a little water break. Always stay hydrated. And we'll move on to a combat drill. So I love teaching the combat drill. I love teaching this entire class, but I'm a martial artist. I have a black belt. I'm actually competing as an adult in martial arts for the first time in 2025, which I'm very excited for. But I love teaching combat. I love teaching combat to people. I think it's so important to be able to defend yourself. And while we can't walk around with these every day, I mean, you could. I mean, I wish I could. Teaching hand-to-hand combat and self-defense is something that I think is so important for people to learn. So we're going to learn just a elbow-knee combination today. And we're going to do the elbow first, then the knee, and then we're going to combine them together. Now this is very similar to the combat techniques that we'll learn in more detail, like I said, in the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp Awakening session. So with the elbow, we're going to have our hands up in a fighting position. Make sure you're squeezing nice and tight. We don't want our wrists to be bent. We want everything to be flush across. And we want to make sure we're touching with these knuckles, not these knuckles. Take your thumb. Don't tuck it in, tuck it out. Now for my girlies with the long nails, if you can't tuck in, that's okay. go flush with the nails. I got you. Okay, so with that being said, we're in a fighting position. We're on the balls of our feet. Maybe we're bouncing around a little bit. Or come through with an elbow with the back arm. So that right arm's gonna go first. We're gonna drive it up. So we're driving it up like we're hitting someone's chin. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now notice that I'm not just leaving my legs there. I'm pulling my hips and my back foot with me. That takes my core with me. That takes my body into the movement. Now, that knee. So elbow, then we're gonna do the knee. We're gonna do the knee strike first on its own, and then we'll combine the two. Same thing, it's gonna be 5. Now, one thing that I like to emphasize is we don't wanna just stop here and go back. We wanna drive through. Because if I was taking someone's head and smashing it, which was the goal here, is we're not gonna just take it here. We're gonna wanna drive all the way through to give them a black eye, broken nose, whatever. We're trying to do some damage here. So, hands are gonna be up, grab the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Now we're going to combine them. So it's going to be elbow strike, grab the head, knee strike. We're going to do 5 on each side. Get excited. Imagine whoever pissed you off, said the wrong thing to you, they're in front of you right now. Did you wrong, whatever it is. Get excited. Ready? And elbow, knee, back. Elbow, knee, 2. Elbow, knee, 3. Elbow, knee, 4. Elbow, knee, 5. Good. And switch sides. Same thing. Arms up. Elbow, knee, 1. Elbow, knee, 2. Elbow, knee, 3. Elbow, knee, 4. Last one. Elbow, knee, 5. Good. We finished combat. You are officially upgrading from novice to blade. Take a sip of water. Nose breathing. In through your nose, out through your nose. Now, we're going to go into blade, which is shield and sword. So, with the shield and sword, if you don't have a shield and a sword, PVC pipe will do. I got one of those over here. Broomstick will do, broom handle, that's great. I mean, holding a really long tumbler, like a water bottle, that's fine. If you don't have a shield, sword, shield, there we go. You can do a heavy backpack. You can do a pillowcase and fill it up with some clothes. Cardboard box. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things you could do to practice this at home. At the training class, you will have these with you because I have them. But if you want to practice these at home, ample options for substitutions. So for today, we are going to do just 10 reps because we have a limited amount of time. Arm's going to come up. We're going to do a lunge, slash, bring it back up. Lunge. Now when we do it, we're blocking. So we want to step forward, slash, back up. We're going to do 10. So, arms up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put it back. Good job. Okay, so that's just a little sample of the blade section. And then lastly is our Valkyrie section, and that's where we combine all of the things we learned in the 1-hour class to put together in your unit for you to apply as a quadrant. Like I said, this could be a Blood Right qualifier obstacle course. This could be a Capture the Trove competition. I can't do competition with you guys virtually here today, so you're just gonna have to come to the class if you want to do this portion of the class. It's honestly my favorite portion. Everyone gets a little fun, you know, always fun competition. There's prizes. Last year, the winning quadrant won miniature Pegasi? What's the plural for Pegasus? Pegasus? Miniature Pegasus, which I thought was fantastic, especially because one of the Gwyns won it, which is perfect. Anyway, so for the Valkyrie session, you have to attend class to actually get that portion of the class. And then from there, we're gonna end with some stretching, because Cassian said we always have to do that. So we're gonna come to the ground, and we're gonna do lizard first. So our hands are gonna come out, and taking that left foot, stepping to the side. You wanna make sure that we are squeezing the glute for the back leg to really get that hip flexor stretch. You could come up if you wanted to. You can lift that back knee if it feels better. You could come down to your forearms. Some people even like to take that front leg and push it out to the side. Oh, you might feel my back crack if you hear that. And then we'll switch to the other side. Still continuing that 3-part breath here and that nasal breathing. Coming to lizard, choose your journey, whether it's on your forearms, lifting the back knee, pushing the leg out. And coming back to center. So down. We're going to come into prone shoulder openers. One of my favorite shoulder, chest, bicep stretches. Bring our hands under our shoulder. Take our hand out to the side. And then roll over to stretch the shoulder slash chest slash bicep. And when you're here, you can play with some options. Stay there. You can stay here with the arm. You could bring it here. You can bring it here. You could tense your fingers to give yourself a little bit more elevation. The options are really endless. And we're going to go to the other side, coming back to the center. Arm out, other side. I mean, this is only a 30-minute live, but I'm sweaty, so I hope you guys got a good workout. I also live in Florida, so might just be the heat. And back to center. And that is our preview for today. So, still got more to say, don't worry, stay there. So, I hope you guys got a taste and understanding, comprehension of the energy and the camaraderie that's going to be shared in the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp Awakening session. I want to thank you for joining me today. And don't forget to answer the question at the end of this live in the comments to get entered to win a free membership to our Nexus app. So, here's the question. Drum roll, please. Which Valkyrie from Sarah J. Maas series do you relate to the most, and why? I'm excited to hear the answers for this one. I hope you guys are as excited as I am to join you guys at Rainbow Market to do all of these fantasy fitness classes and workshops and sessions. And if you have any questions about this class, what to expect, if you can do it, you can comment them below and I will happily answer them for you. And I hope you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you in 2 weeks to talk about the Valkyrie Training Bootcamp Ascension 2-hour session. Have a good night, guys.